Hello, everyone. This is Paul McGuire here. I'm coming to you today to show you some of the steps that you need to go through when you're setting up your digital hub. Today, what I'm doing is just showing you one type of digital hub. This is a blog called edublogs. And you can see I've gone to the URL for edublogs, and the address you can see at the top is edublogs.org. And you type that in, and then you can get started. So you can see on my page that I have several blogs that I have run in the past that are part of right now. The one we're running right now is called Petabloggy, and I may go there later just to show you what that looks like. But today what we're trying to do is set up a new site. So come up with a title, and you'll see if you, in the slideshow that that this is part of, that when you're coming up with your digital hub, you have to think about things like, what is your site name going to be? What is that? And what does that say about you? Because you have to think about the audience that you have, and also I would say the audience that you're going to have in the future. Because if you set up a digital hub or a blog, this is something that you can be using for the next few years. Right now, you might be using it as a way to put in some sample work or put shots of your classroom that you're working in or will be working in. But the purpose can change over time. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. Or if the purpose changes so much that your blog isn't working, we're just starting another one. So you can see the ones we have up here. There are a few that I use. The Sanskrit script, I used this when I was at St. Anthony School, and the code for our school was SAN, so Sanskrit, that's where that came from. St. Anthony Connects was another blog that I used, and I used that when I was principal of St. Anthony's, and that was my primary way of communicating with parents. We got away from the school letter and anything in paper, and we put out a weekly blog. That was really, really popular because we featured a lot of what was going on in the school. Heather, my teaching partner, had a blog called Miss Swale's Blog, and she put that out to her grade 7 parents when she was working at Vincent Massey. Anyhow, so let's move right along. So I've come up with a really boring name, sample site, and that actually works as the URL for the site. So samplesite.edublogs.org. So when I did Sanskrit, it was probably sanskrit.edublogs.org. So we can go and create the site. Okay, and I've already taken it. That's why it's doing that. That should work. So I'm creating another one here. So now when you first go onto edublogs, you'll get a page that looks like this. This is the sample dashboard, and everything that you're going to be doing is basically on this page right here. Along the left-hand side, you can see all sorts of really important things that over time you'll get better at using. Posts is basically, you click here if you want to start a new post. You can put together a static page, like a page that you have that people go to initially when they open your blog. That's something you can do. Your appearance, plugins, tools, these are things that you'll get, you can fiddle around with and play with as you get better at this kind of stuff. And there are lots of instructional videos on how to do this, and it's something that we will look at more in the weeks coming up. So let's go take a look at see if we can look at our blog so far. You usually get something that says hello world. That's the first kind of post that you have, and it shows you what your blog looks like at this point. It's not all that interesting because this is like a kind of default look at your blog, but it gives you some sense of what a setup might look like. The first thing you're going to do once you get there is go to customize. And I always find when you're starting a new blog, this is the most fun because here you get to look at all sorts of different types of blogs to change the theme that you're working with. So you go to the active theme. Here, the active theme is called 2015, and you are customizing your blog called Sample Site. So you go change, And what will come up in a minute will be all the themes that you have access to. And you can change these things on a regular basis. When you take a look at these themes, again, going back to the title that you came up with for your blog, uh, what kind of a presentation do you want to have? What do you want yours to look like? Do you want it to be like full of photographs, like sampling your own work? Something like Accelerate here might be really good. Do you want something that you're going to be just adding just in your work, or your thoughts, or different stuff that you've done? You might have something like the Adele theme here, which is it's designed to really feature text. So as you go through these, you're going to see there's all sorts of different ones. And really what you need to do at this point, and again, it's a lot of fun, you kind of look around to see a theme that you like, that really works for you. This one here is one that Heather used when she was teaching her grade 7s, and it was a blog basically for her parents, but she wanted like a school type theme. So she used this one here. When you want to get more information about your theme, all you need to do is you click on theme details, and it'll give you some idea on where this theme come from. These are all put together by designers, and you can take a look at this one and say, oh, okay, well, what are some of the good things that come with that? Now, if you want to see a live preview, you click down here. There's always a live preview button. And the great thing about the live preview is what it does, it'll show you that if you choose that blog, what will the page look like? So if you remember a few minutes ago, I had the title that said, hello world, welcome to edublogs. That's again the standard text that you get. You can change all that. You can take all that out, and then obviously when you make your first post, you can, if you decide to go with this one, you can begin to start editing that text right out there. Along the side are a whole bunch of different things that you can use to start personalizing your blog. For instance, the site identity. You have your title right there, but you can change the tagline, like My Adventures in Education. You can change the font that you want to use. You can change the site color. When on tags, and tags is something you add to your posts, you can change the color of your tag. So what will happen in any theme that you choose, you'll have different options along the left-hand side for posts, for the type of menus you can have, for widgets, which are a lot of fun. You can add these kind of widgets in later, where they're going to go. So have fun with this, and then start taking a look at the kind of I guess the template that you want to use. Let's say I wanted to use that and I just activated it. So basically now, believe it or not, you're kind of live. So we'll get out of there, and here you go. So you are right in there. None of this is what you really want. So you go up to Edit Post, and this brings you back to basically your dashboard. It will, at this point, edublogs works a lot like WordPress. It's kind of like a WordPress, I guess, vehicle or tool. They'll go through, they'll give you a little tutorial on how you edit when you're doing your work on edublogs. That's really useful. I've seen it, so I'm just getting rid of it right there. And it's because here I'm in a mode where I can begin to edit, and I will begin to start taking things out and adding things in. My first post. Okay, and then you again, you can start changing all this stuff here. See, when I clicked right in here, which says welcome to your brand new blog, I've opened up one of the blocks, and this is the new editing that WordPress and edublogs it uses. I'm not really that used to it, but it's pretty basic. So I'm in a text block right here, and so I can start taking things out and just adding text in. And you can see all these tools you have up here are pretty standard tools you get that you're used to using when you do Word or Docs or things like that. They're all there for you. So basically at this point, you're ready to go. I have to say the first time I did a blog, I probably spent a weekend playing around with it and trying to figure things out, and that's fine. Um, the blogging is kind of a thing. It's a lot of fun to do. There's lots of great reasons for doing it. For me, I find a great reflection tool when I'm learning new things or new ideas come to my head. I like to post about those ideas. So you can use it for all sorts of reasons. Especially as a teacher candidate, the best use really for you is to use it as a way of putting in work that you're proud of, that you want other people to see, that you want to share it with other folks. And you guys are producing so much work all the time. You can take samples of your best work and put it up there on your blog as part of your digital hub. Anyhow, so that's what your first post will look like. Going back again to the template we chose, you can see that it's carried over my first post. And again, you would end up doing more work on that one. Let's see if I can go to just one that's in, let's see, that we are working on. Posts, all posts. Okay, so this is one of Heather Swale's blogs right here. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go to the one we're using right now, Pedablogging. We're using this for our students in the urban cohort, section H and HH. And we'll finish off this little tutorial just by showing you some of the stuff that we've developed. So obviously we've chosen our theme. It's a little bit different from the one I showed you before. Once you get a little bit better at this, you'll learn how to put pictures in your blog, which is a really great idea. We have something called a blog roll, which it's different blogs that we're following. So if you look at that, you can see the kind of stuff that we find interesting. We can put a video of the weekend, and I guess my next video will probably be the one I'm doing right here, and we'll add it in there. We have a tag cloud, which is when we tag, and I mentioned that earlier, tags are when certain things that you're writing about, like if we were writing about Brightspace or Google Classroom, you can add that as a tag, and then when you click on the tag, posts that had that where you were talking about Google Classroom or Federation Day, they will come up. One thing I really get a kick out of, and this is a little bit harder to do, but you can learn, as I did, how to do it. It's something called revolver maps. And what happens is that anyone who goes onto your blog, they basically leave some kind of a trail, and this widget here called revolver maps will note where the people are coming from. So right now, most of the people who are visiting our site are from Ottawa or close by Ottawa. And you can see there's been 156 visits already. We've had this blog open for about 2 weeks. So anyhow, that's what our finished blog looks like. We put out 2 posts a week. And there's also the design things you can work on that will make it look good and will give you kind of a consistent message. So with headers and fonts and things like that are important, and we'll spend more time talking about that in the weeks to come. So that's about it for now. This is just a good kind of brief introduction to what we're doing, and I hope that you find this useful. And good luck with your blogging. I hope it works out well for all of you, and have a good day.